Hey, fellow targeted individuals, this is VW. And I put out, I don't know if y'all really see a timeline in my videos, but I had put out a few videos where I was like, actually, I had a respite. I got my neutralizers in the right place, and so the ELF was like neutralized down. I'm not sure what this guy did. Like, I think that he just moved over the satellite thing over to the guy across the street so that it would be away from my neutralizers. He either did that or he's getting somebody that's not even in the neighborhood to remotely hit me with their satellites. I'm not sure, but I've got heavy ELF, and it feels like gravity that's pushing me down to the ground, burning on both sides of my head, heavy burning, heavy pressure to my skull and to my kidneys. They're hitting me in the kidneys. They're also shooting it through to my prostate and around my intestines. They know I have Crohn's. I don't even know why I'm doing this video because I've been yelling all night. I mean, you can hear it. I've been yelling at them and yelling in the car through whatever surveillance system they're using. They're murdering me right now. Like, it hurts so bad. Like, right now it's a burning across my head. And they have somebody away from my neutralizers with ELF that's helping. And this is my nightmare, is that they have more than one satellite station. The military guys got a satellite station and somebody else got one. The Latino side could have it, could actually have another satellite station. And that's my nightmare, because these satellite stations, I'm sure, $10,000, $15,000 or whatever. And so, I mean, they're spending more than like $50,000 to torture me and kill me in my home. I'm 95% sure that they gave my dad that aneurysm. I'm getting to 100%. I'm getting to 100% because the way it happened, when it happened, how it happened. I'm about 100%, and it hurt so bad. Like, my head hurt so bad, and I was feeling nothing. Like, I was making videos where I had a respite from it all. I didn't feel pressure to my head, so I felt light, and I felt like I was getting to heal up and everything. I haven't hit the wall, but I've screamed at it. I've kind of driven my car around angrily, I guess. Doesn't do anything. I can't get to this guy in his home with his murder equipment and get him to stop. I want to know a way to do this. So I'm just gonna make a video and just record it. I had 2 to 3 days, maybe 4 days of just really comfort, like not feeling pain at all. This guy found some way. I mean, it's pretty easy. I mean, he could just move the satellite stuff away from the neutralizers. He sees me placing the tabletop neutralizers, which work great. They work great on the EMF, so I'm not hearing any EMF. What I did last night, I'll just give you specifics, and they're going to hear this and use it. I moved one of them back to the other side by the Latinos, thinking that they had moved the satellite equipment over to their side, which I kind of still think, because I moved it away from it today, and it's just, it's a lot more hardcore to my head. So I think that he moved it to the Latino gentlemen's, they're murderers. I don't know why I'd call them gentlemen. I think they moved it to their side, and they're shooting it, from their side. But of course, I'm still hearing the microwave hearing from his house, so I think it's treachery. He's trying to just kind of transfer the microwave hearing, and it doesn't matter where the station is. He can shoot that, and it can sound like it's coming from another way because it's coming from above me. So he can make it sound like it's coming from his house, like he's still got the satellite equipment when it's really somewhere else. I think that, I'm not sure, it's just a theory. I think I'm going to go ahead and move one back over to the Latino side, because even if somebody else is trying to remotely hit me, it'll cover more of an area, because those things cover 100 feet. And they're powerful, but it takes them like 3 weeks to really pump up. And I'm going to buy another one. I have a credit card of $500. I'm ready to go, because it's my life. This guy, he's moved it up. He's moved it up and moved it up to where when he first started it, it was like, hey, we're just fucking around with this guy, and he just had the EMF. Then the ELF came in, and he started to really hit me with microwaves. I mean, there were some times when it was like just the high-pitched sound of the EMF, but it was so high-pitched that it was just a microwave signal burning the side of my head. And he has some of that, but I think the ELF can do that. I think the ELF doesn't just have to be in a straight down directional, like pinpointed thing. I think he can create areas around the head of ELF pressure and damage. And he's going for it tonight because I was acting out, I was screaming, I was driving my car around crazy in the neighborhood, and like everybody's going to help him because he tells them just what they need to know. You know, some of them know that they're murdering me in my house and they don't care. Like he's murdering me in my house, and he's got people lining up to burn this guy. It's the hardest thing I could imagine in life. Just the worst, most black thing. I think the guy's a Satan worshiper. I mean, he enjoys this. He feels nothing about it. He doesn't care. He doesn't care at all. The 95% that I think about my dad. I mean, you hear my voice. I've been screaming. And what they do when I sleep, they get me really bad in my sleep. I'll feel something in my throat. I'll feel like a pressure. And then it'll start to burn so bad that I feel like I have to do something, but I can't. I'm just sitting there, and it's like the radiation, the ELF radiation, he puts it like, I guess in like the areas around my head, but he's putting it around my throat, and it just strangles me. It's like a hand. It's like an invisible hand strangling me. I think this guy, he likes that. He gets off on it. I mean, they did it all night. I went to sleep at maybe like 3 in the morning, and I woke up at 8 o'clock at night. They had concussed me during the night to where I just kept sleeping, and I couldn't even wake up. So I don't know what kind of damage is happening. Like, I hate doing this video because, like, I really got it. Those tabletop emitters, if they are around where the signal's coming from, they're going to shut it down. They're going to neutralize it, you know? But I don't know what he's done. He's moved it somewhere. I'm probably gonna move it back over because even if it's still at his house, it'll cover a bigger area inside the house. I'm just recording this for posterity. Like, I hate the guy. He's a murderer. I hope people who don't know about targeted individuals and organized gang stalking see this. I don't know what kind of damage has been done to my body. I know it felt like it was like a high-pitched signal, but it just went pew. It was very, very light, but it sent so much pressure to my skull and my jaw. I think it's just very heavy ELF, and it kind of gives a little bit of a hint of a sound, but it's a extremely low frequency sound, so it gives you just a little bit of the microwave, and then just destroys your head. He doesn't care. He's got a lot of people who are just like, this is what I hear on the microwave hearing here. Put him away. You know, we've got to kill him now. Like, because I've acted out and I've screamed a lot. So, like, we've got to do it now. So that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to defame me, make me look crazy, kill me in my sleep, destroy my body as much as he can. I see these people as cancers. He's like a cancer cell. He's been activated, he has microwave equipment, and he's turned everybody around my house into another cancer cell, and they're trying to feed off of a healthy cell. So I see these people as basically just activated disease. Like, he's activated, and he's a disease, and he's going to kill a healthy human cell. He's going to kill it as a cancer cell, eat it. And he's going to turn other cells into cancer cells to eat other healthy cells. Like, that's kind of how I see it. I know it's very abstract. That's kind of like it is, because he's nonstop. He's nonstop. He doesn't feel anything about it. He's like, you ready? He's doing it like a military op. You know, when I act out, he's like, we got him. And he's like, I'm tired. He'll say, I'm tired, because he's been doing it for so long, and he stays up all night long. So he says, I'm tired. And what he needs to do to finish it is to either give me brain damage, send me to a mental institution, or get me arrested, or just kill me. But he's tired, and he has to do something really dark like that. Come here, boo-boo. Come here, boo-boo. I want you to see my dog. I hope I'm getting her on tape. Boo Boo. There she is. There she is. She's been really, really getting a lot of it. What she does is she just gets really lethargic. She stops wagging her tail. She gets lethargic and just kind of lays down and doesn't do anything and just kind of like looks at me, you know, with those puppy dog eyes. Yeah, I mean they're hitting me really hard. I can figure it out because I've got a lot of neutralization. I just don't have it in the right place. He switched it around and used treachery to kind of, you know, keep it going because he sees where I place the emitters. He knows that they work, so he'll move it around. And I guess if he gets it too far away, there's nothing I can do, and then they just hit me in the skull and burn me. I mean, they don't care. He has the lady from next door who has kids, and she's just like, crazy guy, yeah, you know, hit him, who cares, you know. It's just the most cynical. When they say stuff, there's no feeling in their voices. It's just like this crazy science. It's kind of like I would imagine, like in Nazi Germany, you know, the Mengele, the guy who experimented on Jews. It's kind of the feeling that I think he would have, just like, you know, who cares? Who cares if people die? You know, no feeling in their voices. There's no ounce of emotion in their voices or passion. They're not doing this for a reason. They're not killing somebody they think is dangerous. They're trying to false flag a human being, create a situation in a neighborhood, and then it looks like he's taking care of it as he gets people. I mean, he's gotten a lot of people in the city, and I know this sounds paranoid, to drive around with one light. He doesn't have the cops back, but he may be able to get that from tonight, from what I've done tonight. And they drive around, you know, with their arms out of the cars. I don't care about it. I see it. I just see it and I kind of take it in, and, you know, I just put it in my bank. Like I told y'all, I don't care about this stuff. It's stupid. Like, anybody who has ever tried to follow me or stalk me and is part of this, I look them in the eyes. And they immediately look away. They don't give me any looks of contempt, or they don't do what they're supposed to do, because they look me in the eyes and it's too human. The pain is too human, and they look away. So none of these people are effective. They try and be, because they've heard I'm a bad dude and I need to be, you know, shot out of my house or whatever. But when they see me, when they come face to face with me, their eyes drop, because they realize, they just instantly realize it. I'd give y'all that advice. I mean, I know I'm not an advice giver, because they're creaming me. They're hitting me in the kidneys and just in the groin and through near my intestines, and it's like real. It's like a real sharp pain. It's not a tingling, because when I have it neutralized, it'll neutralize down to just a tingling, and it'll tingle, but then it'll dissipate because the neutralizers are working on that ELF. But now he's got the ELF signal somewhere else. Or he's just doing it, he hasn't moved anything around, and he's got somebody in the city who's not in the neighborhood using their satellite equipment to chime in. I don't think this. I think everything is pretty much just in this neighborhood. I think he moves it around just in this neighborhood. But he's got 2 other houses besides him with citizens who have agreed to murder me, and microwave me. I'm not only losing the argument and being murdered, and my dad has brain damage, which has caused my family hundreds of thousands of dollars for his medical care. I don't only have that going on. I'm losing the argument too. And there's poison. Like tonight, the guy was pumping the poison into the neighborhood, and I'd smell it in my car. I was driving back to the neighborhood, and about 50 yards outside of the neighborhood, I could smell the poison when I was coming in. So he's got the poison all in the neighborhood. It's covering the entire neighborhood. And what he does is he says, we got to get him. But what the thing is, I think he feeds off the hurt and the pain of others too. So I think they want to poison kind of a big group of people in the neighborhood. I'm working on this tape. It's like this Gorilla Tape that's black there, and it keeps on coming off. And it's good tape, but it's actually it's got a lot of, like, I'm trying to hold up a lot of aluminum polyester with it. I'm trying to figure out if it's from my screaming or from the strangling of the radiation, like hurting my throat. Really hurts my throat. And I like to sing a lot. Like I sing instead of talking to them, but it's hard. Like I can't even hit high notes anymore because I'm growling. You know, it's taken away that gift from me temporarily. You know, God will sing over me. He will sing over me with grace. I know this is for a reason. I know it is. You know, I don't know what trapping human beings in their homes and killing them does. Apparently this guy worships that way of thinking. He likes it. I'm very tired. Like I just woke up. I woke up at 8, and it is now midnight. That's 4 hours that I've been just like yelling at them and driving around. That's not going to help. It makes them pump up the torture weapons. They're like, yeah, now we have to do it. And then they just turn up the signal. What I hope that's not happening, I hope he's not just turning up the signal and getting past my neutralizers. I don't think he could do that because I know the EMF is pretty powerful and it's knocked that out. Me moving one, I moved one and he got the EMF. He was shooting the EMF, but it sounded like it was coming from the side. So I think that they've moved the satellite stuff over to the Latino household, and they're shooting the ELF down from there. So I'm going to go ahead and move one back tonight. I'll get a little bit of EMF, but it'll stop the ELF from being so, so harmful to me. They hit me in the head with microwaves a little while ago, probably like an hour ago, and it just my vision got blurry. And I was in the car, my vision got blurry. I want to just show this and record this for people who've never encountered this, and the things that they're saying about me. It's very comparable to what the Nazis said about the Jews. They're not even humans, but they actually had to physically invade their homes. They had to physically spy on them in their daily lives. They didn't have stuff that looked through walls. And could shoot through walls. So, that Holocaust took the lives of millions of Jews and other people. People with mental handicaps, gypsies, sick people in wheelchairs. And I think that's what these guys are targeting. Their Jews are people who are sick or have autoimmune disorders or in wheelchairs or, maybe have depression or something like that. Those are the Jews to them. They're non-humans, and these are sick people, and they're sick, and their psychology is way, way sicker than anybody that they're killing. But I just wanted to document it. It's a lot of pain. I'm having a hard time because they hit me in the jaw. It's like they hit me on the side of the head, and they create the ELF field around my head, and it burns it. It makes me feel heavy. The guys hit me in the spine and in the back, like the back of the head and the spine. I'm not sure. I'm just not sure where it's coming. I had it covered because I think that all the stuff was in his house, and I put all those emitters there, and it stopped it. It dead in its tracks. It stopped it. So he knew he had to do something. So he's done something to keep it going. And I'm not sure where it's coming from. I'll have to figure it out. It's hard to figure out anything, and I know y'all understand this, the people who are being targeted. It's hard to figure out anything when you're just constantly on the defense. You're being murdered. You have people, driving around you, cops. Like I was driving around the neighborhood, and I saw a lot of city police. I saw one sheriff's car, all driving around me. He's still got the DOT or some kind of, he's either got some kind of setup with the DOT, with the stoplights. So he does that. I mean, that doesn't really matter because he's hurting me so physically bad that none of that stuff matters. I saw a guy with his arm out of the car, and I looked over at him, and he immediately looked down. I don't know. It may have been just a regular person sticking his arm out of the car. I don't think so. I have good instincts to know kind of, this guy's trying to, hit it while it's hot. He's got me, hurt, so he's trying to do all the other stuff, too, with it. That's what he does. He's working it like a military operation. That's what I hear from the microwave hearing. It's all kind of, we got him, we've got him. So he's, and I mean, the reality of it is that he's a domestic terrorist, and he's actually committing crimes against the UN. Like, he's committing crimes against the whole human population of the world. Like, he could go to Gitmo for the domestic terrorism if I could just prove it. If I could just prove it, he would. He'd go to Gitmo or something like that. He could be executed, actually, for his crimes. They're like war crimes on American citizens. So it's really nasty. But since it's invisible microwave radiation, he hides in his house, and I'm the crazy person because it looks like I'm reacting to nothing. That's the program. So, like, everybody in the neighborhood doesn't know that he's shooting microwave radiation at me. They just think I'm crazy, and people are screwing with me psychologically. And that's what the people in the neighborhood think. And then they shoot it at me, and then I'll react to it. It's so sick and disgusting. I don't know how to just stay silent and die. It's so bad that if I just stay silent and die, it's not going to help anybody. It's not going to help y'all. It's not going to help me. I think it's good to look at my situation, because I'm smart and I can get stuff. Like, I'm going to get another emitter, but this guy's military, and the guys that he's getting to help him feel like they're doing something for the military or for justice and the law, and they're working it like a military operation, when in truth it's domestic terrorism. It's killing innocent people. But what they've done is they've lied about me so much. They've taken the reactions that I've had to the radiation, and they've created a cycle where I'm the bad guy. They've created an enemy. And I'd hate to say this, but it's just kind of like the U.S. created an enemy with Al-Qaeda. They actually supported Al-Qaeda and created them and then turned them into an enemy. They've turned the whole Muslim population into an enemy. It's kind of just that pointing the finger, getting a scapegoat, and then creating a horrible war where they're the enemy so their children can be killed. They can be killed in their homes. And I hate to say that because I love U.S. soldiers. I think they want to do the right thing. But I think our leaders don't. And this is what happens. This is what happens in our communities. They're shredded. And the Nazis didn't have microwave weapons to shoot through walls. They couldn't see the people behind the walls with, surveillance equipment that uses microwaves. And they did so much damage. They did genocide. They did genocide. They killed millions of Jews. I don't know, what else can I say? I've been trying to upload a great video that I had. It's not really great. It's kind of sad. I hit that wall and I yell at him, so y'all might, this video is going to come afterwards, so you'll have seen it. But I've tried to upload it like 3 times, and he's in my computer. He's hacked into my computer, and he can stop the screens. What I do sometimes, I just turn, even if I'm not going to masturbate, I'll just turn porno on. I know he's got a screen where he's looking at whatever I'm doing on my screen. Hopefully tonight I can get that video uploaded. It's an informative video. My videos have been informative lately. Like, I really am on the front lines of this war. Like, I thought I had it. You'll see how I act in my videos. I'm not cocky. At first when I was fighting this guy, I was like, oh, you lose, man. And it's just gotten so much seriouser. Every day it gets more and more serious. Like, at first it was kind of like a game. He had the EMF, and I would use the plugs and neutralize it. And not much damage was being done. It was just kind of torture when I slept. It didn't really damage my body. It just kind of screwed with me. Like, they really were just screwing with me. And as the days have gone by and he hasn't gotten me out of the house, he's just gotten more and more dangerous weapons, more and more dangerous arsenal, and he's passed it out to people around me. Because of my reactions, they're like, yeah, this guy's insane. Look at him. Look how he's acting. He's insane. We've got to get him out. We have no choice. Now what they're doing, and they haven't said this before, this is a new one, is we have no choice. We have to do it. It's like, so they are acting like they have no choice but to kill me. I've acted out. And I think it's because he's a military guy, and what the military does is they take the worst case scenario of any situation. So he is trying to murder me in my house, and I've acted out. So he's taken the worst case scenario that I'm going to try and kill him or something, and he's created this situation. So he's created this horrible, horrible thing, worst case scenario, and just ripped down the neighborhood with terrorism. He's gotten people to, act on his kind of commands. I'm trapped in my house. My grandma yesterday, we were having dinner, and my grandma, who thinks this isn't happening, she thinks I'm crazy, and my Aunt Brenda has talked to her about it, and my Aunt Brenda thinks I'm crazy too. She thinks I'm imagining it. And we were talking about we were eating crawfish and talking about not wasting things. And as a joke, my brother was like, oh, well, he wastes stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'm the biggest waster in the family. And she's like, yeah, you waste everything and you'll never have anything, So she's now saying angry things to me. And it hurt. Like, I just shut down. I shut down, had to leave the table. I had to leave the table because it hurt so bad. And what I'm really dealing with is like horror. I mean, people are trying to murder me. I'm trying to just survive every day, just survive and keep from getting hurt so bad that I have brain damage or damage to my spine or damage to my prostate or something like that. Horrible stuff I'm trying to keep from happening. And then I have my grandma who just thinks I'm this crazy nutball feeding off my mom. It's I just heard on the microwave hearing, fuck that guy. They've taken so much from me. They've given my dad brain damage, hundreds of thousands of dollars spent on his medical care. I know it. Like, people can say it's not true. I did that to my dad. I stirred up a nest of vipers at an apartment complex by smoking weed and I was sick, so I didn't kiss everybody's ass. I wasn't polite. I just wasn't polite, and they started bullying me, and then I did the same thing the bully did to me, and then they had me. They had me, and the older guy lied to everybody while he surveilled me. Did I tell y'all this? That when it first started, it was basically just one old guy, and I would get up in the mornings to use the bathroom, and he had me on surveillance, and he didn't have any EMF or ELF yet. He was just surveilling me. He may have had it prepared to where he could have done it, but he wasn't doing it yet. And I would walk into the bathroom, and he would turn on the sink. He'd turn on the sink in his apartment, so I'd hear it right when I walked into the bathroom. That was the kind of psychological stuff that they do at first. And I think back to how it all started. It started very small, and now it's like people are dying, people are getting brain damage because they've souped up their arsenal. They've had time to just get more and more microwave weapons, and they don't have morals. They'll kill me in my home. I haven't done anything to them, and they'll just tell everybody that I'm crazy, and that I deserve it. That's 100% true. I don't tell lies. Like, I've smoked weed in the house, but they would have never known about it except if they had illegal surveillance. And I'm not doing too well. Sucks, because I had those videos out and I had it taken care of. I thought I had it. And it may have been those videos, and you'll see them. It may have been those videos that helped this guy to, get around it. So, like, when I make a video now, I kind of don't want to talk about the specifics. I'm probably just going to talk in general because it gives these guys what they need to kill me, to situate everything around me and get the ELF to shoot at the side. It feels like hot daggers shooting through your head, through the side of your head. And I've noticed this, and anybody else kind of chime in on this. I don't know if it's true, but sometimes I've cried about, like, my dad or something, or I'll see something on a movie that's sad and I'll cry. And then it's like right when I start crying, or a little bit after, my eyes will start burning. So I think that ELF can hurt your eye if you're crying. If you've got tears in it or something like that, they can use that to burn your eye, because sometimes, like, most of the times you cry, it doesn't hurt, it doesn't burn your eyes. So I think they've got it down to a sick science, like a mass murderer or a serial killer, where they know the parts of your bodies to hit to really make you feel a lot of pain. Microwave radiation. It's like invisible microwave radiation. And you just think about, if you're a history major, you know history. Well, you don't have to be a history major to know what happened with the Nazis and the Jews. They didn't have microwave weapons. They couldn't look through walls. They had to, actually break into the Jews' house and take them to the death camps, or, come to their doors with guns or something like that, physical. These guys can press a button. They can press a button and hit anywhere on your body and kill you. I'm surprised they haven't killed me, because the stuff sometimes feels really powerful. They'll hit my chest, and it'll just kind of spread out along my chest and my sides, and it feels like I can't catch my breath, like I'm dying, like it's like I'm caught, like my nervous system has been just fried. My nervous system is kind of fried. I hope it can heal up. I'm taking what's the stuff? I can't even remember the name. I'm taking a little bit of my Seroquel. It made me really fat, and it didn't really help. But right now I'm taking the medicine that helps your nervous system and helps depression. It's called Lyrica. Like my mom, well, I guess I shouldn't say that. I'm just taking that medicine to see if it works, because these guys hit you and your nervous system burns. It burns your nervous system out. And I think I have, from Crohn's, I have a little bit of fibromyalgia too. So I'm taking that to see if it'll actually affect what they're doing. Not recommending it or saying everybody should get on it. I'm just kind of telling you what I'm doing. I feel like this stuff needs to be recorded. Like our voices need to be recorded. I feel like every targeted individual out there needs to make videos like me. You can make videos. Just make a video every day, 10 minutes of how you feel. You don't even have to be specific about how they're hitting you, but get a lot of views. I've gotten a lot of views. We're getting traction. It gets us traction when you make videos. It gets more knowledge about the situation. I spoke to a military recruiter. I think I told y'all this in another video, but he completely knew what I was talking about. He's like, I know exactly what you're talking about. He's like, I know the exact setup that you're talking about. I know ELF, I know EMF. He's like, his only worry was, does it belong to the military? Because, see, that's his job. If it belongs to the military, and I'm sure of it, and there's military markings on this satellite equipment, then there's a problem. Then there's terrorism, and then they'd have to get the military to try and stop that terrorism. And that's what I'm going for. I'm going to have to... The military says, because this guy's ex-military and he's not military currently, that they really have no jurisdiction. They can't help me. And they say to talk to the FBI. The last time I talked to the FBI, though, he had the EMF and the microwave hearing going, but the last time I talked to the FBI, about a week after that, that's when the ELF started. So it's like, I don't know who to trust, and I know exactly how all of y'all feel when you're paranoid and you don't know who you can trust. I've seen a lady on one of the videos, and she was like, don't trust anybody. You can't trust your family. And I do trust my family. And my brother just completely told me that he had the money to lend me, but he wasn't going to lend it to me because he felt that it would be better if I earned the money myself, and then I can enjoy what I wanted more. But it's not something that I want. This is equipment that I need to protect my life from murderers. And so I have a credit card for $500. And he was, what he told me, and he was very truthful. He was like, I'm just trying to find a nice way to tell you no, because he doesn't believe me. And I don't think the stalkers have gotten to him. I don't think he's in on this. He's not a murderer. He just doesn't believe me, and he's not going to spend $500 on something he doesn't believe. If he knew, if I could touch his head, and I had some kind of if I had some kind of psychic way to show him what I go through, he'd get the $500. He'd give me $2,000. He'd give me $3,000. What do you need? What do you need? I'll give you a couple $1,000. What do you need? If I could